New this morning, civil rights groups are sounding alarm bells after a ruling by a federal court saying individuals and groups cannot bring voting rights lawsuits.
Now, this involves a redistricting case from right here in Arkansas, and the decision could soon have national implications. Wake Up Central's Michaela Johnson joins us now with the details of this decision. Michaela?
Hayden, Karen, this morning we know that a federal appeals court found that groups like the NAACP do not have the standing to sue under a key section of the Federal Voting Rights Act. The court dismissed a case filed by the Arkansas NAACP and the Arkansas Public Policy Panel over the state's new legislative map. Both groups challenged the state's lining of districts, saying they diluted the influence of black voters. The court's decision has national implications because it's one that contradicts decades of precedent and could further erode protections under the landmark 1965 law. The 2-1 decision affirmed that only the U.S. Attorney General can enforce Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which requires political maps to include districts where minority populations' preferred candidates can win elections. The law doesn't allow for what are called, quote, private rights of action, but a dissenting opinion by Chief Judge Levinsky R. Smith pointed to decades of cases involving private groups. Smith wrote, quote, rights to foundational to self-government and citizenship should not depend solely on the discretion or availability of the government's agents for protection, end quote. Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr. shared and applauded that dissenting judge's opinion on CNN last night, saying the state is at a civil rights crossroads once again.
That's the hallmark of the pillars that built the wall of civil rights. Because of the NAACP, because of the Big Six, they worked to ensure that we had a right to vote and that we had a voice and a seat at the table, and that should not be taking a step backwards.
The mayor also went on to say it's a clear bad decision as it relates to public policy and overall progressiveness of the nation. But Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin applauded the federal appeals court decision, saying it keeps enforcement with politically accountable officials and not special interest groups. Now an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court is expected. Michaela Johnson for Wake Up Central.
Well, you can already see the national attention that this decision is getting, and it's only going to be more from here.
And that's what they fear, is that more would happen after this. All right, Michaela, keep us posted. We know you will.